Tim Akao, a highly experienced and versatile ICT and soft skill expert and industry captain, is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of New Horizon System Solutions Limited, one of the frontline technology training academies in Nigeria.
I was sent to Switzerland for a one-year training. They call it Excellence in Management. I was selected as one of the top 50 future world leaders by Coca-Cola. So they picked 50 of us globally. So they picked about 3 of us from Nigeria and the rest 47 from all over the world to prepare us for leadership role. So after my training, I was coming back to Nigeria. So I got to the train station in Lausanne. Lausanne is in Switzerland, where IMD is, Institute of Management Development, is the Harvard of Europe. And I met a Nigerian. He was looking haggard, smelling, and I quickly saw him as a Nigerian. He walked to me. I was waiting to board my train. He said, "Are you like us?" He was talking to me. He asked me that question. I said, "Like you, as how?" He said, "Someone in Switzerland looking for a refugee." I look at him again. I said, "No, I'm not looking for a refugee here." He said, "Why are you here?" He said, he's seeking refugee in Switzerland. What happened? He now narrated his story that he studied accounting in a state university in Imo State, and that for 5 years he didn't get a job. So he now had to travel all the way they normally travel. He traveled through the northern Nigeria. He went to Libya. From Libya, he linked Spain. From Spain, he linked Switzerland. As at that time, Switzerland had one of the best refugee policies in the world. So I look at him. He told me that he's been in the ship for 17 days. And within those 17 days, no bathing. He didn't bathe. He didn't brush his teeth. All his eyes, all his face was covered with scale because he's been feeding on bread. So that story touched me. And I look at him, I look at myself. I say, well, it could have been me. So it's just by God's grace that it wasn't me. So right there, on that day, I made up my mind that as soon as I get back to Nigeria, I'm going to tell Coca-Cola that I will stop work and I will dedicate the rest of my life to mentor the youth of Nigeria. That I'm going to pick one area. Before that time, I was active in what is going on, in commenting about Nigeria. But that day, I had a new vision. I said, I'm going to pick one problem in Nigeria and I'm going to solve that one problem. I'm going to dedicate my entire life in solving one out of Nigerian problems. I'm going to change my orientation from less of talking and more of doing. I made a vow to myself that I'm going to use the rest of my life to help the youth to actually grow and position them in the IT world. Because I knew as at that time that if the youth had the opportunity of IT, they won't be going to Switzerland to look for refugee. So this how New Horizon started. So as soon as I got back to Nigeria, I worked for another 6 months and I approached the system. I was open with them. I told them, I went to my MD then, a Romanian guy, Marshall. I said, "Marshall, I want to go and start something for Nigeria." He looked at me, said, "Tim, are you crazy? Because we are well paid in the company." And nobody had ever resigned. You don't resign that kind of Coca-Cola job in those days. No, you don't. So I was one of the very few who voluntarily say, "I'm leaving to go and do that." And I gave them my address, this place. I said, "I'm leaving." So today, when you see Nigerians traveling to UK, they are not going there to do refugee, to forge paper as a refugee. They are not going there to even work in mortuary, which was what used to be the practice in those days. They are not going there to be security guard. They are not going there to be drivers. I sat down and I said, I'm going to market technology in this country with all my being, with all my time, with everything God has given me. And that's what I've done for the past 18 years. So every year now, we train over 70,000 students in Nigeria. We give scholarship to about 20,000 students who don't even have resources to learn. Also, once I see you, you have the brain, you want to learn, okay, go to class. Then I can tell which among them will become another Bill Gates tomorrow. So that's how New Horizons started. We now started from giving IT to primary school students, secondary school students, university students, so that by the time they come out of university, they are fully baked. In those days, the major problem of banks was how to get IT people to stay with them for more than 6 months. Within 6 months, they've already changed jobs because we didn't have enough. But without being immodest, New Horizons solved that problem for Nigeria. And that makes me very proud. New Horizons is an international franchise. It's the largest independent IT training company in the world. We exist in 95 countries right now. So the franchise is exclusive for training of IT. And that makes us number one, because there is no aspect of IT training, technical training, that we cannot handle. None. Even if we don't have enough skill in Nigeria, we can get skill from our neighboring countries or anywhere in the world. But for us in Nigeria, one of the things we've added is projects. Now we've saw that we've been training students for a long time. In the last 2 years, we decided that we are now going to focus on projects, because we also want the young ones to be able to build organizations like Google, organizations like Microsoft, organizations like Facebook. So we are guiding young people we are training now on how to use AI, how to use robots, how to use drone to also develop projects. So for us now, it's training plus projects, but everything on technology. So everything on IT. So our focus is very sharp. It's when it comes to training, nobody does it better than New Horizons globally. And for Nigeria, we've added projects because we realize that not everybody, as we even saw it coming. Now, about a month ago, UK says that in terms of accepting Nigerians to come, they want to place a ceiling on it. So now those who have migrated 2 months ago, 3 months ago, are luckier now than those who are still here.
This is New Horizons. New Horizons System Solutions Limited. IT soft skills training, outsourcing, ICT job placement, and more. New Horizons System Solutions Limited. Call us now. New Horizons. Learn what earns.